So it all started when one day my mom had sat me and my brothers down and told us that she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer.
On June of last year, 2015, I was temporarily paralyzed for 17 hours, and it was this rare condition called thyrotoxic periodic paralysis.
So I grew up with lesbian moms, and that was kind of hard because, I don't know, everyone's not always accepting, and I'm afraid, people are going to judge my sexuality based on them.
When I was born with meth in my system, so immediately I was put into the foster care system. And when I was put into the system, they found out my two older brothers were there. So trying to keep siblings together, I was put with them.
Since I was born, I came into life with a sister with special needs. It's April. She was homecoming queen last year. Everyone accepts her in high school, but growing up with a sister with special needs was a lot different.
So when I went into my freshman year here, I'd always felt kind of nervous, and it wasn't anything to do with school or stress or anything like that. It was kind of just me not being able to process things. And I went to the doctor after feeling sick for a really long time, and I was diagnosed with anxiety.
She played it off as it was going to be all okay, and we all believed her, and it was kind of scary because we didn't know where we were going, and with my dad leaving all the time for work, and it's just being me and my brothers and my mom, it was kind of hard being, I don't know, maturing faster.
And it started off, I was just at home, and I was doing homework, and then I got up from my chair, and I just fell down. I couldn't feel anything waist down. I had no control of my legs, so my parents brought me to the ER, and at the ER, it progressed to neck down where I couldn't move anything.
My wonderful adopted parents now, Lisa and Fernando Moreno, and then everything was fine for about a year, and then my mother got clean. So since I was just only a year old, I was able to be put back. So I was put back with my mother, and then my two little siblings were born, Joshua and Faith. Everything was great for about 7-8 years. It was all good, she was great. And then my Aunt Kathy passed away, and then my mother started using again. And then everything just kind of it went downhill from there.
I didn't really have a dad, so that's kind of weird to explain to people, but I had my uncle as a father figure. And then in 8th grade, he was diagnosed with cancer. Well, my 8th grade. And then he died in February, and that was really tough because he was he meant a lot to me. He was going to walk me down the aisle and everything. And then right after that, my grandma died a few months later. And a few weeks after that, my mom was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. And luckily, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but that was a pretty rough year. And a lot of people don't know that about me, so yeah.
And I started therapy and medication, and one time I had an anxiety attack in the middle of school, and I was crying, and no one really knew what was happening, and it was just really a mess. And then a year later, I got diagnosed with depression, and I've been taking medication for that too.
April has Down syndrome. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. She's always been in my life, but it's hard to describe being the little sister of a sister with special needs, because I had to grow up being the big sister in every case scenario. I had to teach my sister how to cook. I had to teach her how to do laundry. I had to teach her how to make her bed. I was the big sister. I taught her how to wear what she wants to wear and be herself, but I never got to have a big sister that would be there for me if I was going through something.
And then my little brother was put into the Orangewood foster care home, and then my little sister and I were immediately put back with Lisa and Fernando, who then adopted us November 18th. So today, Faith and I are 3 years adopted.
I'm actually I find it a blessing in disguise that I was paralyzed, because I don't know, it just makes you be grateful for all the small things in life. You take things for granted, just being able to move your arms. Some people aren't able to do that.
It was just different growing up with April, but having a sister with Down syndrome is probably the biggest blessing I've ever had in my life. She she taught me to look at the world differently. She taught me that it's okay if you're weird. It's okay if you look different. It's okay if you randomly just start dancing in front of people. No one cares. It's okay if you just start singing and you're not good. You know, she taught me how to be the best person you want to be and be yourself.